okay. Hello, Sally Ann here. We've had a slight diversion in plans at the last minute, and because we encourage our brand partners to really start to thrive in this environment and gain confidence, our beautiful brand partner Cath is going to share today for the first time, and Shelley's going to wrap up the second part. So I get to be the slide sharer. So if there's a bit of a disconnect there, please bear with us, but we're going to do what we can in that regard. So Cath, over to you, and I'll just share this on the screen and we'll go present, and I'm going to turn my mic off. Awesome.
Hi everyone, my name's Cath. I've been using LifeWave's technology for the past year, and I really love it. So it's gotten to the point where I'm like, I have to share it, but I'm not a very confident person, so Sally's kindly agreed to give me this opportunity to practice just talking about it, and hopefully I will then get the confidence to share with other people in my life, because it genuinely has changed my life. So like, why wouldn't I want to share it? It's like I have to, you know. So yeah, welcome. Next slide. Oh, okay, let's see. Anyway, so the question we're asking today is, have you been patched yet? Have you heard about this amazing technology? It was developed by David Smith. He is the inventor and CEO of, he's the inventor of X39 and the CEO of the company. He has over 130 patents. He is a scientist and inventor, and he has a focus on specializing in age reversing. How this all took off was in the 1990s. He was employed by the US Navy to develop a technology that would enable the US Navy SEALs to stay awake for long periods of time. And through that research, he developed this, I guess, patch technology. However, when 9/11 happened, like, they pretty much said, sorry, we don't have the funds for you anymore, but he kept intellectual rights for this, so he took it to the domestic market. So LifeWave itself has been around since 2004. So the technology has been going for 20 plus years as his company. And in 2008, David focused his attention on stem cell research. So it took 10 years to bring to the market, and he invested $4.5 million to do so. And that brings us to where we are today with X39, which is a patch that it is a patented technology. So basically how should I talk about it? So it's patented. That means the property, like the rights for this technology to develop it, belong to David, and no one else can, I guess, come into and make it, which is important, I guess, from a business perspective. It also means that this technology works. It says, the patent itself says that embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvements in energy, and elevation of antioxidants. So, sorry, what does it, can we go to the next slide, please? So why is this so exciting? This is so exciting because as we age, our stem cells actually start to deactivate because of the lack of this copper peptide. And the fewer stem cells we have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. And from this, by the time we're 30, so I'm 30, half of my stem cells aren't active. And by the time you're 60, there's very few of them still active. But when you put on this patch, it simply says to your body, hey, make more of this copper peptide. And then that in turn, because of the high amounts of the copper peptide in your body, your stem cells reactivate. I myself just saw an example of this week where I burnt myself when I was cooking, and I was like, oh no, like, you know, you get a burn and then it always goes oozy and yucky, and I'm a nurse, so it's the last thing I want to be working and, like, I guess put myself at risk of an infection. But like within 2 days, there was no oozing or anything like that. It pretty much has healed. It's crazy. Anyway, and that's because the higher number of stem cells you have, the quicker you can heal. So how does X39 work? It is a form of phototherapy, and inside the patch, it's a patented crystal technology, which basically reflects back the light of our own bodies, to reflects back the light of our own bodies, and it's non-transdermal, so there's no drugs or chemicals or stimulants, and it's also non-invasive. So like you can think about it like the sun stimulates our body to make more vitamin D. Like the sun doesn't actually put vitamin D into our body, but our body, like once in response to the sunlight, makes vitamin D. This is how it works too. So patch just says make more copper peptide, and then goes from there. So the benefits include increased strength, reduced inflammation, increased stamina, increased energy and vitality, mental clarity, restored muscle and or skeletal conditions, improvement of sleep, and improved skin appearance. And after using this for a whole year, I can say I can tick every one of those boxes. I regularly go to the gym, and so like my strength has basically gone like to a point where I didn't imagine I could reach. Energy and vitality, well, that is what everyone wants, and it's what I've seen myself, and yeah, it's incredible to have. So I guess for me, this slide really speaks a lot, because it is the results of a study they did with a 77-year-old woman. She placed the patch on the back of her neck. And so from session 1 shows the results of before she patched. There was inflammation in her brain, and which results in a lack of brain coherence. So that can be as simple as, like you walk into a room and you forgot why you went there. Brain fog, that symptoms like that, which are every day. However, by the 3-week mark, when they did a repeat scan, you can see like that red area is completely gone and inflammation has been reduced. And by 6 weeks on X39, which is session 3, there was a complete turnaround and better brain coherence. Okay, so what are the long-term results? And so in the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced, which is what we saw in the last slide. By 3 months, your collagen has increased, and within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. One of the other brand partners, he was speaking recently, and he had to go for a workup for surgery. And as part of that, they routinely check, I guess, how your heart is functioning and if it can cope with surgery. He was 59, and the results came back that his vascular age was 40. So it is incredible. It does work. It's simple and it works. So this is not anti-aging, it's age reversing. So how do you wear it? You simply wear your patch 12 hours on and 12 hours off. So an easy way I like to remember that is I put it near my toothbrush, I pop it on in the morning when I brush my teeth, and then take it off later on at night when I brush my teeth. You can just throw the patch away, or you can put it near like your fur baby, an indoor plant, and they can, I guess, get the benefits of the patch as well. You can wear more than one at a time, depending on your health condition, I guess, and you should drink plenty of water, so at least 2 liters of good filtered water.
So here's the bit where we normally, I'm just going to stop sharing. We share some testimonies, and for those of you that don't know me, my name's Shelley Kearns, and about 2.5 years ago, my husband had aggravation of a lower back injury, and how that was presenting for our family was he was flat on his back, and I, with a 4 and a 6-year-old and a farm, and he was the primary income earner, and I was at home with the kids, was really nervous that, hey, this is what life's going to look like. And I had ex-partner suicide with back pain. So it really brought up a lot of fear and anxiety for me about what we were going to walk through. And a beautiful friend, Misha, phoned and said, Sally Ann, I know you're a functional nutritionist and you simply have a heart for helping others feel better. I have come across something that I really am excited about and I want to share it with you. So we caught up for lunch and I got to hear how this technology had supported Misha with her bursitis in her knee. And it was funny because she's standing in this cafe and she goes, look, and she stands up and he starts kicking her leg in the middle of this cafe. Like, what is going on? She's like, and she'd also shared with us a story of another mutual friend that has sciatica in her hip, and to the point where she was unable to move or, couldn't sit down for more than 15 minutes. So it was really aggravating, and she'd popped a patch on and had success. So we were pretty hopeful and we were praying for a solution. So the fact that this came along, I was like, okay, maybe this is an option. So I was a little dubious as a practitioner that this was going to do anything, if I was really truthful. But we were at a loss. We'd done all the other things and nothing was working. So we stuck a patch on my husband at 8 o'clock in the morning. And obviously being a practitioner, I wanted a baseline. I was like, right, what's your baseline out of 10? And he was like 8. So in terms of discomfort. So it was 3:30 in the afternoon, and I had said to Ray, where's your discomfort now? Like what's it rating out of 10? And he said 3. And I was pretty fascinated. So that was really interesting as an observer. So I patched myself slightly after that, and within a week that discomfort was down to a 1 and his injury has not returned. So that was a real blessing. For myself, it was more within the first 3 or 4 days, I started to really recognize a deeper sleep. Within that 6-week mark, I'd had a hemorrhoid post-birthing my son, which I just couldn't shift with any of my liver supplements. And it did seemingly get worse before it got better, but it's gone forever. I've never seen one again since, which is great. And that really ties into that vascular story that Cath was sharing about, where this is part of our vascular systems, as is our eyesight. And I have now witnessed over the last just over 2 years in Australia so many miracles. And that's one of the reasons why I just feel so lit up with this technology. But as Cath was sharing, I was just thinking about your journey with the patches, actually, Cath, with your father, and some of the transformations that you've witnessed with your eyes. Would you just touch on those things for us briefly, or not so briefly, because they're really powerful?
So I heard about the patches. Actually, my sister sent me Sally Ann's podcast a year prior to when I started patching. But I guess it wasn't the right time, so I didn't listen to it, of course. And then Dad's doctor in America, he started Dad on the patches probably in September. But I was like, I didn't understand them, so we used them, we ran out, and I didn't think to it again. But then my dad, he had a brain tumor, so he's quite unwell, and then he broke his hip as well, which basically left him bedbound. He was really, really sick. And it got to the point where he wasn't swallowing. So I was like, well, there's nothing, he can't swallow. How can I help him? So I reached out to Sally Ann and I went to Sydney, got some patches, and it was incredible because what could you say? It is turning on that natural innate healing process. He went from having difficulty swallowing to basically reversing those symptoms within a few days. And he was sitting up in bed eating eggs on toast. And as a nurse, the last thing you want is to watch your loved one die from not being able to eat. It's just horrible. So it was such a blessing. Dad, he did pass away after 5 months, but he went the whole way through swallowing, and people would talk their surprise, Dad had a brain tumor, but he was still Dad, and that he was still Dad, that very essence of Dad, which can be lost as a side effect of a brain tumor. People have behavior changes, but Dad didn't, and that is such a blessing. However, I started patching while I was caring for Dad full time, and I guess looking back, I didn't realize how much I put into caring for Dad. It was crazy. It was full time. It was 24/7. Dad needed help through the night. Anyway, I started patching, and after 7 months of looking after Dad, not even considering going to the gym or even looking after myself, It's like after 3 weeks of patching, I was like, okay, I'll just go to the gym. And I found an hour to go to the gym. And it was just like this mindset shift of finding the joy and the hope and the love that is, I guess, can be lost when you're going through caring for someone else. And it is a painful journey to say goodbye. But yeah, like it just changed my life.
And this is what the essence of the business is, and this is why we keep doing Zooms. Because thank you, Cath, that's so beautiful. And if you witnessed as a brand partner sharing with Cath, I got to hear a lot of that journey. And it wasn't about building the business for her, it was actually about helping her dad in those latter stages of her care role that she did. And as a nurse, it was beautiful for me to understand when somebody often loses the ability to swallow, there's not a strong opportunity to bounce back from that. So Cath was really flabbergasted because of her skill set as a nurse and being able to witness that. So she was very, I guess, moved by the shift in the turnaround with her dad's health. So Shelley, I'm going to hand over to you now, if that's okay, and we're going to continue on with the opportunity that is available to all of us. So thanks, Cath. We'll wait to let you have that flow of emotions, and we'll kick off the rest of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Cath, for being so courageous today on lots of levels there. Thank you for being vulnerable and courageous. That is one of the reasons why I love these patches and am fully embracing the business opportunity because I definitely have a big heart for caring for others, and I'm always sharing information and trying to, I don't know, just provide hope. And this patch is an amazing resource that has brought so much hope to so many people and has been absolutely life-changing for myself and for my family and dear friends as well. So on the screen here, we have a website, thisisit.info.com. This is a fantastic website. If you'd like to look at some more information, I would recommend popping on to that website. You can have a really quick look or a deep dive. There's a doctor's panel. The fourth video down, Dr. Leyland Stillman is a great one to start at. And there's also a testimony page. So definitely check that out and look at the children's testimonies and just, I don't know, it'll help you have a vision for how life-changing this tech can be for others. Thank you, Celia. So I'm just going to switch gears a bit, and we're going to just explain about a little bit more about the company and about the opportunity here. This is a very new product in Australia. It's only been, the X39 I'm talking about, is only been available for about just over 2 years. And so it's very new. Not a lot of people have heard about the X39, and we're on a mission to share it with our community. So it's a 20-year-old company, LifeWave, which is something that I really love. It's not a startup company. They have a very ethical, long-standing history with providing incredible products to help people around the world thrive. So like Cath touched on earlier, it did start with a contract with the US government 20 years ago. So LifeWave products are available in over 75 countries, and probably more soon. So it's available to friends and family overseas, to our networks globally. It's not a Me Too product, so it's not a weight loss, a skin care product, a supplement, although a lot of people do experience losing weight and do experience amazing skin shifts, but it's not a Me Too product. It's a standalone product. There's nothing else like this on the market. So it's incredibly special, and really I see it as a golden ticket opportunity that this has come to me into my sphere and into my awareness as a tool to help others. So in 2021, the LifeWave was making $20 million. And then when the X39 product patch, which comes here, the X39 patch was released in 2021, and that was in the States initially, because LifeWave is a US company. The introduction of the X39 catapulted the company in 2022 to $320 million. It's just phenomenal, and that's really showing us that the product totally works. You couldn't get that kind of growth without the product being absolutely phenomenal. In 2023, $430 million, and in 2024, over $600 million, nearly $650 million. And this year, we are aiming to crack the $1 billion mark. So the growth in this company is absolutely just going through the roof. I think it's been around a 3,000% growth increase in just a couple of years. And the X39 product is 90% of those sales. So it is really quite extraordinary and really exciting to be a part of. Thanks, Sally Ann. So LifeWave has been ranked, currently is, and has been ranked for about 18 months, the #1 momentum company. And that's by businessforhome.org. So you can check out there. They talk about different home businesses, and LifeWave is just absolutely cracking it there. If you are part of this kind of company, the momentum and the growth is very, very, very important. If there's no momentum and no speed in the growth, you're really not going to have you're just going to, yeah, I'm getting lost on my words there, but with this kind of momentum, this kind of growth, we are absolutely in a very lucky place to jump on board and pulled along with that. So thank you, Sally Ann. So LifeWave was awarded the #1 growth company by for the Global Bravo Awards last year, and just the other day they were awarded the #1 growth company again for 2025, which is just phenomenal. And you can see here David Smith on the left. He is the inventor and the CEO. He is such a humanitarian, such a visionary, and I feel very aligned when I listen to interviews with him and I listen to him speaking. I really feel his heart, and I really feel aligned with his vision for humanity. He has such a big vision, not just with helping people thrive, with helping us thrive with the technology that he's creating, but also to help the planet thrive. There's been so much thrown at us the last while, and he really has a vision and is a very conscious being, very aware of what's been happening, and is creating products to help us all thrive. So you can see next to David is Gina Merritt and Steve, her husband in the black shirt. Now they are an amazing networking couple in this industry, and they have set up an entire training platform. They've cracked the comp plan. They know exactly how to maximize the flow back from the company, and they are teaching us their strategies to make us win. So we're in the fastest growing team in LifeWave, the This Is It team, and they are leading the way. And Meredith there in the middle, Meredith is the president of LifeWave. And when Sally Ann met with her last November in Vietnam, she said that Meredith said she had such a big vision for LifeWave, and she plans to, in the next 5 years, for LifeWave to be the #1 company in this MLM networking in the world. And so with such extraordinary leadership and vision, we're totally in the right place at the right time, aligning with this team and company. So what is the most important thing in your life? Nobody knows exactly what the next person's most important thing is. Often we don't share that. We don't really sit down and say, oh, my vision for my life. But when we start to dig deep, there's a lot of people really looking for shifts in their lives right now. And I know that initially when I was told about this product, and I was not looking for another thing to do. But now I've delved a bit deeper, and I've started to fully understand that this is a vehicle for massive change. And one of my highest values is freedom. And this vehicle is going to create in my family, in my world, and rippling out to others, incredible freedom in areas that we've felt a bit stifled in before. So freedom with time, and definitely financial freedom. I know that so many people are looking for hope in finances. Everything's costing so much at the moment. And I know that financial stress in homes is so, well, it's so harming for relationships. And we need healthy relationships. We need healthy families in our community. We need our people and our community to be thriving, and alleviating financial stress is a wonderful way to do that. So this is a vehicle for me that is going to change the trajectory of our family, not just for this generation, but my vision is to change this trajectory for generations to come. And I absolutely wholeheartedly believe that this is a vehicle that can help us to do that. So I'm excited. Thank you, Sally Ann. So there's lots of travel trips available through LifeWave. They're not only reward with financial flow back, but they are a couple of trips up for grabs each year. Just recognizing people that are sharing and mentoring others in the community to really thrive. Thank you, Sally Ann. This is a little basic, just a quick snapshot of the compensation plan. Basically, how it works is you have two teams. You're building a left team and a right team. And so if you can think of, which is immediately what I didn't even think about getting the patches for my own personal use at the beginning. I immediately thought of 4 people that I love dearly that would totally benefit, that were having some struggles with their health. And so immediately I thought, oh my gosh, just get this information to my loved ones. And as a result of that, I pretty much have had my patches cost neutral. Now I'm creating way more flow back. But in those initial stages, I was really just covering the cost of my own patches. And that's an option for everyone. You can, if you can think of 4 people that you love that would benefit, then you can really get started by sharing the information with them and to get your patches cost neutral. And then if you decide to take it further, you can. We're looking for people to mentor and to partnership with. And this is a beautiful, beautiful system. In traditional business, I've had 2 of my other businesses. They've been very solo businesses. There's a lot of competition in the market. You're offering a service that is similar to other people's services that they're offering. And so there's a lot of competition. This is the first time where I've felt in business completely supported, totally supported in my vision, aligned. And it's just, the people in this business are phenomenal, conscious, beautiful beings. And so we are looking for people to partner with. Sally Ann told me about the patches, and I'm so grateful. Thank you, Sally Ann. And she's basically been helping me and mentoring me and leading me along the way to then share with others. And then as I've shared with others, I'm now helping them. Sally Ann's backing me to be thriving in this business, to share with others. And then as they share with others, they're helping those people share with others. So this is the way. It's a beautiful flow back effect. And you can see from this screen here that if Sally Ann shared with me and then she's helping me to thrive, she's helping me to share with others. And if I, for example, earn $200 US, we're paid in US dollars for the week, then LifeWave says, wow, you've supported Shelley to share with others and earn $200 US. We're going to pay you a thank you gift of $50, 25% of what Shelley earns, $50 for the effort that you've put in there to help her thrive. And the next person, layer deep, 20% of what they earn. And third, 20% of what they earn. So there's 5 ways to get paid in this business model. It's super lucrative and it's super generous and it's really, really like exciting. So how to get started? There are 3 packs to get started. If you can see the opportunity here and you think, wow, I want to jump on this. This is a fantastic business opportunity. It's brand new in Australia. This is it. This is the time to jump on. The premium pack is the way to go. This is approximately around, currently with the exchange rate, 3,100 Australian dollars. The advanced pack is amazing for people that are in a couple. So if you've got 2 people, a couple in the family, or if you would like to share with others, this is also a great place. It's currently around 920 Australian dollars. And the core pack is just for normally one person that just wants to get started, wants to have a try of the patches, have their own experience. It's probably today around 535 Australian dollars. Now, it is a subscription-based model. It's a model with integrity. So the LifeWave would like people that are sharing to be having their own experience using the patches. So it's subscription. You have the product set and forget. It just keeps coming. So you never run out. And you're using the patch. And from that space, you're able to share authentically with others. So we can explain more about that. But yeah, it's just like Netflix and Spotify. Everyone's used to subscription-based models, and it's very powerful. As you have a subscription, you're collating points from all the activity in the team, which equates to financial flows. So it's a wonderful model to check out. I'm conscious of the time there. It's 1 o'clock, so we'll just wrap up with letting you know these 2 websites are great. This is the info, as I explained before. This is it team. is a full training platform. It's a duplicated system, so everything's been created. You don't have to come up with anything new. There's a full training platform, and basically you just do the training steps and you duplicate, and it duplicate. It's so powerful. It's so simple. Anyone can do it, and you can do it in whatever time you have. So now's the time to make your move. I've definitely made my move, and I have a great team that can see this opportunity, and we're mentoring and working together to get this product out to our Australian community and globally. So let's get started, and I really feel like we are hope dealers in this time.
Oh, thank you to our beautiful presenters. A huge thank you to Cath, the first time, and Shelley is just a gun in this organisation with such a vision and such a heart. I just love doing this with you both and everyone else that's on here. Fantastic. So we're going to shift gears. We're actually doing a private training for Nate's group. So those of you that are not part of Nate's team, we might just ask you to, and the recording will be up soon.
Thank you, everyone.